Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Tuesday, a weekly podcast where we're breaking down all of our favorite slashers, thrillers, monster movies, and black comedies on the new scariest day of the week. I'm Sydney Thompson.
I'm Monica Height.
And I'm Chelsea Duff, but for this moment in time, I'm also Joe Keery.
You're
And
also our little tea cake.
a little teacake.
A
And
little
if you
teacake.
are watching this on YouTube, you're going to be like, wow, she looks just like him. That's crazy. How'd she do that? And it's because he and we have a deep connection, which is that I like to watch him and stuff. And this
Wow.
week, I know nobody else has that
Whoa.
same connection as unique and special to us.
Did you guys know about this? Did you know about Chelsea's deep
It's
personal
like really
connection with Joe
crazy.
Keery?
It's like I watched
Oh
him in a
my
movie and somewhere in the
God.
world he's like, and I felt that.
Yeah. No, he did.
It's cool. We really are vibing. But this week we are watching him in a new horror comedy that is probably no longer playing in a theater by you because it had the craziest short theater run. It's called Cold Storage, and the IMDb logline reads, "When a highly dangerous fungus escapes from a secret laboratory." Sorry.
Laboratory.
like,
okay, Dexter.
Yeah.
You know what? That's, I think, how he would say it.
That's canonically true. That's how it's said.
When a highly dangerous fungus escapes from a secret laboratory, a former bioterrorism agent is called back into action. Alongside two young employees, he must confront an invisible and out-of-control threat. I don't love that. I wouldn't call it invisible. And I would not center
they don't know
the
how
logline
much
around
it's
Joe
growing.
Keery. That's true, but it's pretty visibly green.
And goopy.
And goopy. Not foamy. Otherwise, that would be mold. Because it's not foamy, we can tell it's fungal. But sure.
I don't know. I understand wanting to put it be surrounding Joe Keery, but that's not where you enter the picture even. So
yeah.
you enter it with Liam Neeson, which I love that he did this
with Sosie Bacon.
with Sosie Bacon. Well, you enter with that man who blows up.
Minos is his character's name, apparently.
Enos. Dude, I found this movie to be a delight, and I'm very sad that it has such a limited run. But was it you, Chelsea? You're telling me that that's the plan because it's such an indie that they didn't have the budget to keep it in theaters long enough, so they're hoping to recoup on digital.
What I saw was speculation, I think, from other people saying they think it's only in theaters for such a short amount of time because it is an indie, and so they can't afford to pay for to keep it in theaters for longer, taking up screen space.
Yeah, there's a lot of big stuff out right now too.
But there's not. You can pre-order this for purchase online already, but I didn't see a date for when it'll be on streaming. So that's what's really crazy is this movie came out February 13th. Sydney and I went opening weekend. Monica went the Friday of the next week. Yeah. It's still not, it's been 1 week since it came out, and already you can't find a screening after 3 p.m.
There was no screenings in Alabama at all, so I'm very glad I had the foresight of seeing it with Chelsea.
Yeah, you just have it ingrained in your brain from 1 week ago today. I feel like it's really too bad because it's really fucking fun. Again, similar vibes to last week with Send Help. This is another fun time at the movies movie, and thank God we need a little fun times right now, even though this one's about a horrible plague that could destroy the earth.
Climate change is gonna have really disastrous results.
Yeah, so it's we're touching grass, we're seeing the world, but we're also having a silly goofy time, and there's a romance element which I found incredibly compelling. I'm sorry, I did. I
No,
liked
I
both.
liked it, but they should have done more, I feel like. But we'll talk about
Yeah.
that later.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was so fucking fun. It's not getting like amazing reviews online, but I don't need every movie to like fucking change me on a biochemical level. And like, thank God, because this one would have made me blow up if it changed me on a biochemical level.
Yeah.
But sometimes
One
I
thing
don't need to
that
be moved and changed. Sometimes I just want to stay the same and have a nice time.
go to the movies, have a blast, go home, go forward with your life. You know,
Go to
it doesn't.
sleep. You go to sleep.
But one thing I did think was interesting is that in the credits it says that the screenplay is by David Koepp, who also wrote the book. So this was a book, and then
Yeah.
he adapted himself, which is always super interesting to me because you know they can obviously be as faithful to their novel as they want to be, or change it in whatever way it needs to be changed, because you can't tell the exact same story in the exact same way in a different medium. Like things need to be translated. And I started the book yesterday, and I was like, and if I listen at 1.5 speed, I can finish this in just 6 hours. And then I was like, I don't need to do that. I'm curious about the book. I will listen to it at a normal pace, at a normal speed. And if there's something interesting to say in comparison, maybe I'll make a TikTok later. Because I am interested in the book. But
Yeah,
I was
me
like,
too. I like the story.
just do the movie.
Did either of y'all watch Secret Window back in the day? The Johnny
No.
Depp, Stephen
I
King
always wanted
one.
to.
That was one of my favorite movies, and David Koepp like directed that movie, and then he also wrote the screenplay for Jurassic Park and The Lost World Jurassic Park, and his 1 degree of separation with Kevin Bacon, which leads to Sosie Bacon, was he had 2 movies. One came out vaguely recently. You Should Have Left came out in 2020.
Is that the weird one that everybody was like, I don't get it? Wait, I
think
do
so.
get
It
it.
starred Kevin Bacon, and then he had one
You're
that
thinking
came
of
out in the
I'm
90s.
thinking of ending
You know
things.
what? Yeah, I have seen You Should Have Left. Actually, I watched that.
Yeah, that starred Kevin Bacon, and
No,
Stir of Echoes.
he did the 2017 Mummy. He did the Tom Cruise Mummy.
So it's hit or miss. Maybe
He
that
also
was
did
his
Mission
fault.
Impossible.
Oh no. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Well, but I was saying, like, he's already worked with Kevin Bacon, so he was like, let's add Sosie Bacon in this movie also.
And when's he getting Kira Sedgwick? That's what the people want to know.
Exactly.
He did Presents. He wrote Presents.
I liked Presents. Monica's a Presents hater because she doesn't like the marketing and how
I never
it
saw
revealed
it.
something that in the marketing to me does not have the same emotional impact as it does in the movie. You don't know the context.
It doesn't, of course, but they still shouldn't have done
She was
that.
waiting for it because she memorizes trailers.
They still shouldn't have done that. They still
We have
shouldn't
beef
have done
about
that, in
this.
my opinion. I don't think you should do that. I don't think that the climax of the film should be in the trailer. I don't know if that's a crazy thing
It was
to say,
crazy
Chelsea.
doing Send Help Social, and because the movie is not out streaming anywhere yet, so I was only using stuff from like trailers and clips online. Everything is in those trailers. It's so wild, and somehow it didn't give away the movie. So, but also
Well,
like you
it
know what
didn't
that
give away
movie's
the
gonna
movie
be.
for me because I didn't watch any of those trailers. But
Otherwise, she would have been like,
I
"What
would
is
have
she
been
gonna be in the golf suit driving away in the convertible?"
wow, okay, so you wrote the screenplay for OG Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
And is The Lost World the third one?
I think so.
That one fucks. That one
Yeah.
fucked me up bad as a kid.
Oh,
That's
he
one with
did
the kid.
Jurassic
That's the one
World
with the
Rebirth.
kid.
He's
Rebirth?
he's
Don't
a
talk to me about that.
hardworking
No,
guy. He
that's
also
the
did
second
Black
one. That's the one with
Bag.
Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
Oh, then never mind. I can't
He did
speak to
Lego
it.
Jurassic World. Don't worry, guys. He's back in.
He did the oh my god, I can't say it. Zathura. I've never seen
Oh,
that, but
fascinating.
I've heard of it a lot. He did the 2017 Mummy. We're not talking about that enough. An abomination, but also hilarious. And one day we should cover it on the pod. It would be so funny. Oh my god.
He did
2022
something with the
Spider-Man.
really bad Indiana Jones with Shia LaBeouf.
He did Dial of Destiny. That was exactly what I was just gonna say. Indiana Jones and the
Crystal
Dial of
Skulls.
Well, do you
Destiny.
know what he also did?
And the Crystal
Guess
Skulls.
what? Death Becomes Her. So everybody eat their fucking words right now.
He wrote Death Becomes Her?
That's what IMDb says. He's
I'm
one
not
of the
seeing
writers.
that
Martin
one.
Donovan is the other writer.
Oh yeah, it's right here. Right before that. Oh my god, he had a fucking he had a slay 3 years, girl. Girl. He wrote Toy Soldiers. Anybody? Toy Soldiers? Anyone? 1991? An incredible, strange claymation. Wait, is it the right one? No. No. Never mind. Never mind. I don't fucking care about toy soldiers. Soldiers. I don't fucking care. I thought it was the one where the action figures come alive.
Steve
And
Carell.
no, what?
Isn't it?
What'd you say? I just didn't hear
Wasn't
you.
Steve Carell in a movie where there's little dolls
Steve
that come to
Carell's
life?
Steve Carell is that is like the.
Well,
There's
aren't they
a-
toy soldiers in that movie?
Well, the movie isn't called Toy Soldiers. It's called Small Soldiers. I'm pretty sure.
That's
So-
basically the same thing.
I think the movie you're thinking of is like Smits or whatever. The like, I don't know what movie you're thinking of. That's not what I'm talking about. This movie had Kristen Dunst and Tommy Lee Jones and David Cross, and they like it's humans and claymation little like action figure guys, and it's very emotional to me. And David Koepp is not related to it at all, and has nothing to do with what we're talking about. And so we're gonna move back on. But I was Toy Soldiers, good for him. I just thought it was going to be the best 3 years of his life if he had done Small Soldiers, then Death Becomes Her, and then Jurassic Park in a row. But maybe just a good 2 years. That's okay. That's still a good run.
He also wrote War of the Worlds.
Oh, fuck him. I hate him. War of the Worlds gave me my huge panic attack where I had to leave the theater and go watch Herbie Fully Loaded. I've been personally affronted by David Koepp.
Do you want to know the movie I was thinking of? It's called Welcome to Marwen from 2018.
Yes, that I knew exactly what it was, but I couldn't remember the name.
Small Soldiers is a movie, but a different movie from like the
Yeah.
90s.
I know.
Ugh.
It's different than Toy Soldiers, and it's certainly not the one with Steve Carell. Anyway, we can talk about other things now, but
Should
wow,
we go
he's
back
got.
to Cold Storage? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you need to understand everything we just said so you can see the place he was in to write this movie. Does that
I
make
wonder how
sense
many
to
books
you?
he's done. He's a very
I
accomplished
know.
screenwriter, clearly, but
I was trying to figure that out too. I should go on Goodreads and look at what he's done. I got confused and I thought that he was the author of Jurassic Park, the book, but that's Michael Crichton, right?
Yeah, that's Michael Crichton.
that sounds right.
Yeah. So I got confused because I saw something Jurassic Park. He wrote Jurassic Park and he wrote the book for Cold Storage. And I was like,
Okay.
whoa,
He's
not the
written
same.
2 books. The other one
Okay.
is called Aurora, a novel.
Okay.
He also did that Kimmy movie with Zoe Kravitz where she had the blue wig.
Okay.
Anyway, this movie though, like, I don't know why it just made me so happy yesterday, but like I fucking love Liam Neeson so much and I'm so glad that forget the other parts. I like him in this movie and I really like The Naked Gun. I just remembered that. I looked at Chelsea and I remembered the last time you told me he's a bad man. And I
Well,
forget every time.
I don't know him as a person, but he had a very controversial quote that he apologized for.
That's good. At least he apologized for it, but that's not enough. And
It was
he'll
a
have
pretty
to
bad
do
quote.
20 more movies like this
It was
as
pretty bad.
reparations. I do like that he did a movie this silly, but it doesn't surprise me because I watched The Naked Gun last year. I was just texting you guys about this. And I felt like that really informed my viewing of this, like to see him do like such a hilarious comedy role. Because that was the reboot of the OG Naked Gun, which is with what's that guy's name? Leslie something.
Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen, yeah. He plays Leslie Nielsen's like son, and he is also a cop, and it's Pamela Anderson, and it's just like absurdist comedy, like really roasting cops. And it was a delight. If you have not seen that, it was so fucking funny. It was, and Pam and hot. She looks incredible in it. And it's Akiva from The Lonely Island, and I love him. But anyway, I felt that like I felt that comedy like vibe from him now. Like I never would have expected that from him before, but I think he did a good job here. Like I
He's
know
got
that
very
he could do
fun,
it.
dry humor.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
Also, I love because he's like, Mr. Action Star
Uh-huh.
now that he's getting older. So he's like trying to do action, but then he's like, oh no, my back. Oh no, my back.
I
So
It's real.
know.
it's very funny and age appropriate.
Yeah, it's so good. But I mean, I was freaking out yesterday because I left to go to this movie at the exact moment that school got out. I live across the street from a high school, and why'd they get off at 1 p.m. yesterday for
Early
some
release.
reason? It's good for them, not good for me. So I was freaking out that I wasn't gonna make it to this movie on time. So Chelsea did a beautiful job of writing out every second of the first 5 minutes of the film. So thank you, Chelsea. I'm sorry that you did that.
Happy
When
to.
I got there on time. And thank God because like the beginning really sets up a lot. Um,
It's very
I
fun visuals. That was what I was saying. I was like, it's such a shame if you miss that part. Um,
yeah,
this movie is not streaming anywhere, but you can find it online if you're looking. So I was like, you could watch it later, but it's so fun. It's so visually interesting. And I just think they do a really good job of like setting things up in a cool way. It would be such a shame to miss it.
yeah, and I love the like sort of misdirection to like when I sat down, I was worried I went into the wrong theater because I just
Mm-hmm.
couldn't tell if it was gonna be this movie for like the first like 3 minutes because I couldn't see anyone, and I couldn't tell that was Sosie Bacon at first because she has bangs and she's blonde, and I've never seen her like that. And she was wearing sunglasses and she was in Rome, and so how could I know? Um, but yeah, I love that it's like I love the concept because we have fungus zombies already in the world, and that's The Last of Us. Um, but I liked this origin story where it was like like science stuff sent into space and then crash landing and then like something going terribly wrong through exposure to, different elements. I was like, I'm not a scientist, so I believe it, and I'm sure that that's true.
Yeah, well, it's super interesting. The movie is like the Skylab space station fell out of orbit in 1979. During its mission, it had been home to hundreds of scientific experiments. Most of the debris burned up on re-entry, but some of it crashed to Earth. NASA thought it had recovered every piece. They were wrong. Pay attention.
Yeah.
This shit is real. When I saw that on screen, I was like, whoa, I wonder if it really is real. And I went home and I looked it up later. And there was the Skylab launch from NASA. I'll link in the references, but I was like, this is super interesting. Like,
Oh,
that
it's
was a
actually
real
real.
thing that happened. It really did like fall out of orbit and back to Earth. And some of it was in, I mean, like they said, most of it was in the Indian Ocean, but I don't know. I was like, that's such an interesting premise to start from. I don't know if it really had like a fungus in an oxygen tank on board kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, you know, crazy shit happens in science and space exploration, and I just thought it was a really interesting premise to come into the movie from, and then to be like apocalyptic wasteland entrance. And then be like, well, that's not really what's happening. They're just a dust storm right now, but it's like crazy vibe setting.
Yeah. And I like for this movie and for The Last of Us, I love how like they do bring up global warming and that sort of a thing on like how like it pushed a fungus that would normally just affect bugs um to get more intelligent and figure out how to like transfer it to humans because like that fungus that like controls ants and stuff already exists. It's really crazy if you haven't watched those videos of the ants like being is it ants? I think it's ants. Like being like remote controlled by fungus and walking around. It's like very, very horrifying. So I just love this type of zombie in general because it feels uh realistic in some ways. Like it could happen. Like uh this sort of android type thing where you have remote control. Also relevant to Fallout if anybody's watching that. Um,
Well, I
and
have
watches.
a lot of like pop culture references in my notes. Like, there's a good chunk. There's some you can see in the movie. They reference this is less more a little thematic potentially. Tea Cake, the book that Tea Cake is a character in that Georgina Campbell's character thinks Joe Keery is named after is Zora Neale Hurston's Their Eyes Were Watching God. He's reading Invasion of the Body Snatchers when we see him.
That was my favorite thing. I love that so much.
It's interesting, like what they put explicitly like on the page, and then also what just feel like references that you can see if you're a film buff. Because in terms of like zombie history, with the punk motorcycle gang that shows up later, and the like green zombiness of it all, and the military background, it's very Return of the Living Dead, and those are like talking zombies too. So
yeah, it definitely feels like it's like blowing a kiss to that movie, which is one of my all-time favorite zombie movies. That one just fucking rocks so hard.
Speaking of tea cakes, when you think of a tea cake, what do you think of? Because in the South, tea cakes are like a very particular thing, and everywhere else, they're like something completely different. Don't Google it.
I'm not Googling it. I know what tea cakes are to me because there is a place. I'm going to Google the place. I'm sorry. Martinel's Burbank. Is that what it's called? Tea cakes. There's this place where my Martino's Bakery in Burbank has a fucking killer tea cake. And it's like this yellow cake. It kind of tastes lemony to me. It feels like it was maybe soaked in something. I don't know. And then it has like the type of icing that is like shiny and thin, and it's like the most delicious thing in the entire world. And if you haven't gone to Martino's Bakery in Burbank, you should get one. They're like crack. What is it for you?
Chelsea, what is it for you though?
I think of like a butterscotch crimpet, which I know is more like Pennsylvania, northern East Coast, so surely not right.
What?
A butterscotch crimpet? My mom's from the East Coast, and when my dad would go on business trips when I was younger, he'd bring them home. But you can get them at like Jersey Mike's out here now.
What is it? Like a crumpet?
It's like a little, it kind of looks like a Twinkie, but it doesn't have filling inside. It's just like a little yellow cake with kind of a squiggly outline, and then it has a little bit of a butterscotch frosting on top.
Ooh, that sounds delightful.
Okay,
what is it? What is it in your world, Sydney?
Okay, in the South, it's like this really thin, it's not like a cookie, but it's like crispy. And so it's kind of like a pound cake cookie thing. But in the UK, it looks kind of like a donut, like a bagel bun without the hole. So like I want to know what kind of tea cake is our tea cake? Like the entire time I was like what kind of tea cake? Like what's the Kansas tea cake? Because they're in Kansas.
Kansas tea cake.
Like
I'm just looking at the ones from Martino's and I'm drooling a little bit. Ooh, they have it in cranberry, blueberry, and coffee cake flavored. Ooh, pumpkin. Oh, the lemon ones sound really good. Oh my God, I'm drooling.
Cakes online kind of look like if you made a cookie with cake batter.
But here's the thing, a Southern one is crispy. They are not soft at all. Like they are crunchy.
That sounds kind of like a scone.
No, they're shaped like a cookie. They're flat. Like they are like flat and crispy.
Old-fashioned Southern favorite recipe. I found the recipe for it right now.
Those are still even, they look too fluffy.
Too thick? Okay.
Yeah, like they gotta be thin. And they are
dip them in tea?
No, you coat them in sugar and then you bake them. And then you just eat them and you fist fight your uncle for them.
Well, I meant after
that's part of the
baked,
culture.
You dip them in tea.
Yeah, that's part of the culture. Like you are like fighting over. My Aunt Linda is like responsible for making the family tea cakes, and she has this like giant like metal tin that she shows up in, and everybody is like, "Get out of the way!" Fist fighting. My dad, like my parents have been divorced for a decade, and my dad's always like, "Bring me back Aunt Linda's tea cakes," and I go, "I got you, girl."
So funny.
I got you, and I will fist fight to have some to bring home.
I will absolutely fist fight.
when
They're
you
so
Google tea
good.
cake, it like looks like not a bundt cake, like a loaf pan cake. That's like the picture with like the icing on it. But it's like the description is like it's completely different everywhere. Wow.
Dear
Anyway, you should go to
listener, what's
Martino's.
your definition of a tea cake? Please tell us in a review, in a rating. Be like, 5 stars, this
Seriously.
is my tea cake.
My
Regardless,
tea cake is Joe Keery.
I
Yeah.
think that Joe Keery's hair in this film is
What?
reminiscent of the vibes of the tea cake in its many forms because it is blonde and all of the things
It's
that I've seen online
blonde.
are yellow or what like, cake get colored, like yellow cake colored. And
And his
so
hair's
I
like
think that
kind
was
of
like a
dry. It
really
doesn't look like moist cake, like Sydney's saying.
and also
Crunchy.
just to go
Exactly.
towards Chelsea's definition of tea cake, which seems to be not what a tea cake is, but it is a delicious type of
Just what
cake.
comes to mind.
It's squiggly, just like his crimped hair and Chelsea's crimped hair. So wow, you
Maybe
can
that's
see
part of what the association was.
thematically,
Yeah.
thematically, I think that that's a reference to the long and winding road he's gone through as a character coming
It
from a
really explains
prison.
his journey.
And this is his
Yeah.
first job out of prison. And he was like on this long and winding road to finding his confidence and doing what he wants to do.
Listening to his
Wow.
self-help tapes in the car.
Taking control of his life. So fucking funny.
It's the one thing he
Uh,
wants to not fuck up, you guys.
yeah. Okay, sorry. We've like talked so much about all these different things, but we didn't actually talk about the beginning of the movie and the opening and what actually happens in it. And I also like besides all of the zombiness and all the whatever fungus and everything, I love this movie because it's like fucking Osmosis Jones. I love when they zoom in and they're like, this is the mitochondria, it's the powerhouse of the cell. It's like deep into your body and you see
Hmm.
everything spreading and stuff. I love those visuals. I think they do a
When
good
it's
job on
like
them. They're
climbing through her sock and then the flesh
super
of her foot.
cute and yeah, and like
Red blood
I
cells.
loved the way I loved the body reveal in the beginning. Not Sosie Bacon's, but when they get up to the roof and they find the body and it's all exploded and it looks fucking crazy. And then like Liam Neeson turns around and there's one on every single rooftop. I thought that was
Hmm.
horrific and like really cool how that was done. It's like
It's
it was
interesting
creative.
if you can circle back too, because when the guy's on the phone, when he calls Susie Bacon, then in the beginning, it's like we see that he just like drops the phone, and then when she gets there 27 hours later, it's like still dangling. But at the end of that shot, he's like looking up, and so you have to wonder if that's his moment where he's like, "I
Ooh.
gotta climb."
Ah, that's so cool. Great detail, lucky bitch. Did you get to see it twice?
Yeah.
God damn it. Lucky. Um, yeah, I feel like this would be a fun one to rewatch with those details in mind. But like I also think it's genius and also just like smart and what fungus does. Like they release spores to spread. So like having you go up and like blow up like in the wind and all that stuff, having it like have
Mm-hmm.
like the spores can go further. I mean, that's just like how fungus works. So I think it was smart and it was so fucking gross. And it
It
makes
also
me,
felt very alien, like with the chest burster of it, like how it bursts
yeah,
out of your body and just like leaves the shell behind.
yeah. And also, I wanted to know again, I only saw this once, so maybe Chelsea, you can say more to this, or maybe Sydney, you locked this into your brain 1 week ago and it's
Hmm.
in there hardcore. But there's like this little line, and I was a little confused because it was like science stuff in front of the NASA container that they were using as a museum in this town in were they in Australia?
Yeah,
In
Kirikora,
Australia.
something like that.
Yeah. There was a little Tupperware with like potato and Dawn dish soap, and she said, "Oh, this is like a folkloric cure." And was she saying that like there's it was fucked up in that container already, but then he fed it unwittingly like the starch from the potato and something with the soap, and that made it mutate?
The folkloric nature of what she's saying is, I don't know if this is true, this is what Google says, but you can use potatoes to clean things, and the idea is that the starch from the potato will make it like water repellent and reduce streaks and stuff like that. So
Oh,
he was just like cleaning it, like
cleaning
shining
it.
it up basically. As
Oh,
we can
oh, oh,
see,
oh, oh. I
they
thought it was
have
like, is it
dust
a
storms in this
ward? I was so
area.
confused. Okay.
Yeah, it was just that he was cleaning it, and because there were these micro punctures, because the
It
soap
was
and the
like
water and the starch from
fuel.
the potato was able to drip through, the fungus fed on that,
Yeah, so
basically.
it was
The water,
basically
they were saying, particularly, like, really allows it to grow.
okay, so the food that fed it and it
Nutrient
was able
rich,
to
that's what she said.
spread out
Mhm.
of
Hmm.
the little microfibers. Okay, cool. Thanks for clarifying that. I was like, science, science, what?
Yeah. And she like looks at it through the microscopic lens, and that's when she has like Liam Neeson hold her so she can lean closer, and you can see it like right at those cracks. It's like bubbling, moving in real time fast. So
Mm-hmm.
it must have just expanded to like fill that whole tank and then slowly start to force its way out. And as we saw, all you need to do is really touch it and it's kind of game over. So
Yeah.
if you're cleaning it, certainly you're coming into contact.
I also liked all the callbacks here. Like you were saying earlier, Sydney, I think that about him being older and like his problems with his back and stuff
Hmm.
like that. But, like that's a callback, right, from him getting hit by the car by when Sosie Bacon hits him with the car, when she's being controlled by the fungus.
Hmm.
And I just really liked that, like not Chekhov's gun, but kind of Chekhov's gun sort of thing where they're like, here is a thing and it's being referenced quietly and then like it also is like an explosion in the final act of the movie as well because like his back explodes and then he's like the
Hmm.
one person who can help. So I thought that
When
that
they're
was
climbing the
a fun
wall,
through line.
when they're climbing the wall into her son's house to get the bomb, she says like your back is a ticking time bomb.
Hmm.
Exactly. And him
And so
picking
it being
up the
like
bomb,
those
I was like, oh,
parallels.
I think I was saying like yeah when he picked up the bomb too I was so fucking stressed out because I was just like
Mm-hmm.
he was and she was
The
like live with
backpack
your
bomb.
legs you idiot.
Girl,
I
don't make
I
him do that.
I liked the parallel storylines too. Like
Hmm.
obviously like we're gonna get into the Joe Keery, Georgina Campbell of it all. But like I loved like the anxiety of the Liam Neeson storyline going through at the whole time because we know we've already seen how fucking crazy batshit this fungus is and it will destroy you. And they're just joking around and flirting, Joe Keery and Georgina Campbell being like, "Oh, what if we go down this crazy tunnel? What if we
We're
like, oh, that's
guards.
weird. They
Shouldn't
have
we be guarding? Maybe there's something terrible.
yeah, like what if
Hmm.
they're like, whoa, look at these hazmat suits. How interesting. Walks past them. Why are they there? Why are they there? Don't come on.
Well, I don't know that I
Uh,
would want to touch them necessarily either. You know what I mean?
when would see that there were hazmat suits and
It's
then you
like
were
don't
supposed to go
proceed. Yeah.
down, come on. But then meanwhile, like Liam Neeson is doing everything he can to try to save the fucking world, and like the bureaucracy shit that he had to go through, I thought that that was like a really frustrating and stress inducing aspect of it as well. Like, oof.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, it's super interesting because the book came out in 2019. They filmed the movie in 2023. Not that it's been like that long since either of those times. Um, and obviously our current state of government has been also ongoing for many a year now. But it being so rooted in the idea that like the American government in many ways is fundamentally resistant to actually addressing climate change, even as experts are like sounding the alarm, and that the American government has all of these like decommissioned sites that they kind of just like have turned their back on as projects have no longer been like the important thing to work on or whatever. It just that's so real.
well, it's just crazy. Like, there's a fucking bio weapon that they just were like,
Hmm.
it'll be fine because it's
Don't
got a
worry, guys, we put it behind
self-maintaining
cement.
system. Like that it's like just based on like this underwater cold spring and they're
Hmm.
just leaving it there. Oh
And that
my
they're
God.
like Yeah, I mean, I know the alarm is going off and I know it's been going off for literally hours, but to me that just says that the alarm is broken. So I don't think it's anything to worry about. Like, excuse you?
Girl. Yeah, thank God Abigail was a down bitch. Is that her name? Her
Abigail
fake
is
name?
her code name.
Fake
Yeah.
name, yeah.
I think her real name is, did you say Ishi? Something like that. She's only
Yeah.
credited as Abigail.
Yeah. She says it in that last scene, but I can't recall right now. But I really liked that subplot. But I mean, the meat and potatoes of this is Joe Keery and Georgina Campbell. And like, would I have ever thought to put the two of them together? No, but that's why I'm not in charge because they have really cute chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't hate it.
They're really cute together. When
They're
she like
so
squeezes like
cute.
right past him, when she's like forcing her way through the hole in the wall and then explore, she's so excited. She's so pumped about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
they
really
like,
like her.
she seems like a nice person not Georgina Campbell. I mean, I'm sure she does too, but I don't know much about her as a person. But Naomi seems like a nice person too because it would be very easy for her to be like writing off Travis, Teacake from the beginning and like needing to be won over time. But her only impression in the beginning is just like chatty, but you know, that's okay. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And she does say at one point like you're a lot more interesting than I thought you'd be. But other than that, you know, it'd be easy for her to be like a dick to him, and she's not. She's nice.
No,
They
she's
just
super
seem
nice.
like they kind of they don't have a vibe right off the bat, but they're cute.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously thinks she's cute right off the bat.
And she's like, "You like my eyes?" Like,
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I do. Oh God, I
hmm
also love this hair on him. I think it's really cute.
I don't think it works as well on me, but he looks good.
It like weirdly works for him.
hmm
Yeah, and he still has the blonde hair right now, or he got it again. Sorry, it's not. It's been 4 years since they filmed this. But I think he looks good with the dark roots blonde hair thing. Little fuckboy energy. It looks good.
It's a hard look to pull off.
Yeah, his story though is super sad. Like he's like went to jail for hella long because he just got like taken advantage of by his friends. He like didn't really know what was going on, and then he was like, I guess I'm the getaway man now. So I thought that was a cool, cute like subplot for a movie that is not very substantive in that sort of way, where he has this little like journey of self-worth and
hmm
self-discovery. I liked it.
And also that they put them in these orange jackets or shirts or whatever for their
Yeah,
storage facility work that also is like
Hmm.
evoking a prison jumpsuit, I thought was interesting. Like he's not in prison anymore, but he's still kind of a victim of his circumstances in that way.
and
And she's
he
not in
can't get another
prison, but
job. He's stuck with this
it's
dick boss who's trying to put him into
trying to
weird
exploit him,
situation.
trying to get him
Trying
into
to
worse trouble.
exactly, trying to like get him to like probably violate, I don't know if he's on parole or whatever, but you have to be really careful
Uh-huh.
right after you get out of prison. And like whatever the fuck
Hmm.
is going down with the curved screen TVs, like it's not legal.
Yeah, and obviously her situation is different, but she talks too about how like she's a single mom. She became a mom at 18. And she also really needs this job. And you know, we meet her ex later and certainly doesn't seem like the healthiest co-parenting relationship of all time.
We
Um
meet the ex where he's like showing up at her workplace with a gun because he just killed a cat, which is
Yeah,
like a
their
sign of a
cat.
serial killer, his mom's
yeah.
cat. Like, what
Mm.
the fuck? Like, what happened there? We don't get an explanation. He thought it
Yeah,
wasn't.
he says
He
it
thought it
wasn't
wasn't loaded.
loaded.
But still, you're just pointing a gun at a cat.
Right. And I could see him sort of being like, I didn't bring the gun to threaten her. I brought it to show her what I use. And it's like, but regardless, he's being like, you're not answering the phone. So this is what happens. I show up at your workplace. Now you have to deal with me. It's like, sir, kill your mom's cat
And
on
then
your own
he
time.
and then he gets there, gets infected, and all of a sudden he wants to
hmm
spit in her mouth.
I want to
Oh my
throw up in
God,
your
I
mouth.
want
That's
to
what he
throw
says.
up
Yeah.
in your mouth. He's
And Monica, do you know what that's a
so
reference to?
what? I
Send
know it.
help.
Yes, it is. I was like,
And
okay,
they did
just
one way or another in this one as well. When there's
yeah.
the cockroach shot, which I loved, which comes later, but it's like, and you want to know how that cat got zombified? Don't worry, we're gonna take you through it.
Well, I'm glad they did that because I was like, why the fuck is the cat
Yeah.
infected? They just got there. This doesn't make any
hmm
sense. And then, yeah,
But it shows you the
I was
nature
like,
and danger of that spread, how like they really do have
yeah,
to blow the whole place up.
they really have to fucking nuke it. It's crazy. Also, like, shouts out to Aaron Heffernan because he played Mike, the
hmm
ex-husband or boyfriend or whatever. Absolutely looked disgusting the whole time. Just disgusting. All sweaty and clammy even before he got sick. Like, oh my God. That was like
Well, he did just
grotesque.
kill a cat.
Make I know.
And then he
Well,
brought it to
no.
be like, you want to be a vet, so you're
Girl,
gonna
you blew
be
up
able to
its head.
unshoot this cat.
Another thing think that is interesting parallel, and I don't know if this will mean anything. It's not gonna mean anything regardless. But I just watched the trailer for Disclosure Day again. And there's a bunch of
Mhm.
like alien stuff with stags in that. And then there's like the whole
Mm,
stag part of this. And I mean, there is
well,
something like so unsettling to see a stag in a place where it's not supposed to be. And like they're so huge and they're so menacing. And like seeing it, like, I don't know, because I feel like a stag in a way is like such a representation of nature and like
hmm
pure nature.
the
I don't know.
nature gods. I
Yeah.
think there's a shot. I put this in my notes as another movie reference. I think it's Train to Busan, where there's a shot of like a deer from the side, and then when you turn, it's like you see the whole other side of its face has been
Yes,
ripped
what?
off,
Yeah. I'm looking
or
deer
zombified or
zombie.
whatever. And I think
Googling it.
that's what they're directly referencing at the very end of this movie, I think. But
What?
certainly this is a trope that I think it's like when they're going by in the train before we even like see the zombie outbreak meaningfully, I
Okay, well,
think.
don't Google zombie deer. Okay, look up zombie deer, and then AI overview says zombie deer refers to animals, deer, elk, moose, and reindeer, infected with chronic wasting disease, a fatal
Oh,
infectious
Yeah.
and untreatable neurological prion disease that causes drastic weight loss and listlessness and excessive drooling. So it makes these deer look like zombies. Oh my God.
Don't
I
even
was
get
just
me
trying to.
started on prion diseases. My
Oh
number one
hmm
God.
fear.
That's so fucking scary. Oh, I'm trying to find this. And instead, yeah, Train to Busan. Oh, sorry. Train to Busan and Bambi, The Reckoning.
Yeah.
That's surely what they were referencing.
100%. God, I'm gonna get sad if we think about Train to Busan too long. So good. God tier
But yeah,
zombie
I mean,
movie.
I thought that that was Train to Busan and Return of the Living Dead. I thought that those are both really great zombie movie nods that are so at this point
Yeah.
like pillars of the genre. Um,
Mhm.
and also they're so tonally different that to be like, and we're doing both. That's fun.
Yeah. And we're doing both. Oh man. Yeah, I also really like the moral like quandary like the Liam Neeson has and also whatever the hot older army lady's name is. I
Leslie
don't know.
Manville,
I love her.
hmm
Tino
Um
Romero,
but like they do a great job of setting the stakes here
Trini.
because we have these two separate situations going on. We've already seen how bad this can go. We know they have to blow everything up, and we know that Liam Neeson is like these kids are not going to survive, and we love them so much at this point. They've done a good job, at least for me, making me care about them because I thought they were so
hmm
endearing, and I really like their budding love or whatever. I think it's a short movie, but I think they like do effective
Yeah,
writing to
literally
make you
90.
care enough. Yeah. Thank God. You can do it, folks. You can do it.
It's
You
such
can
a
make
quick
me care
90.
about someone in 90 minutes. It's possible.
hmm
Um, but like having the Liam Neeson side of things being like, yeah, these kids are gonna die. Um, you're just you're locked in. I'm locked in.
Yeah. It's a shame because he does tell Trini Romero on the phone that like he's gonna do everything he can to save them when they're locked in the storage unit, but then as soon as they're like, we've left the storage unit, he's like, well, all right. Now it's out of my
Yeah,
hands.
because now like they could be exposed
Yeah.
anywhere. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, crazy. And the fact they already started the bomb when they brought it
Mm-hmm.
down, like, I mean, we see how quickly it spreads, and we saw not exactly, but kind of later on, like how much the water affects it and how much it blows up, and it's fucking pouring rain. So like every second does count at this point,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, and
It's
I
so
love
fun the way. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, you go.
It's so interesting and fun the way they do some parts of this though. Like the way that we see the effects of the fungal infection, I guess if you want to call it. Like I said, they're kind of talking zombies a la Return of the Living Dead, but it's almost more like a brain control thing than
Yeah,
it is. It's not
it
like it
is,
just like
but
shuts down all of your I mean, she says in the beginning, so Z Bacon's character, her name is Hero, by the way, Dr.
Which I
Hero
love.
Martins. And that
that's
was
so
one part of
funny.
the book that I listened to where they talk about like her name origin. It's like Greek mythology. But um, she says that it controls all brain function, movement, reflex, impulse. It's driven to infect other hosts any way it can. But we see it with her. I think she's kind of like fighting it a little in the beginning because she knows what she's dealing with. So she knows if there's something in her brain telling her, "Oh no, I just scratched my howdy tattoo." I think it's fine.
It's okay.
Not the howdy
Not the
tattoo.
howdy tattoo. I loved when I could finally read his tattoo at the end of the movie, and I was like, "Oh my God, it says howdy." Um, but the way that you can see her kind of like wrestling with it a little bit, I think. That's why she kills herself instead of doing anything else. I think she's trying to maybe drive away from them with the car, and they just kind of get in the way of it because they don't know what she's doing. But it's telling her to like infect other people or do whatever, and she's trying to contain it. But then we see it with them later, with
I feel
when
like
the
when she was
boyfriend gets
driving
infected.
away, she was trying to go to more people, but then once she stopped, then she like takes a second
Maybe
and takes the rein and shoots herself. Like,
it
cause
could be
that
like
like
a little power struggle in there.
yeah, I feel like that was her, like her shooting herself in her breathe hole. I'm sorry to have said
Mm-hmm.
that. Was like the fight back moment, like her ending it before she blows up and like ending it before like so she
Mm-hmm.
if she does blow up, she's in the suit so it doesn't spread as far. Anyway, keep going.
Although I might imagine that a bullet could penetrate that suit, but I don't know.
Best option she
Anyway,
had.
yeah, they bring in the rest of the military and they explode the whole thing later, so it's fine.
Big
Um,
splody.
But when we see it with the ex-boyfriend later, like you literally hear, I don't think he says, but you hear like find more people like screaming in his brain basically, and then he's going, I gotta
uh
find Naomi, gotta find Naomi. So it's interesting to kind of see the way he's still like functioning as a human would. It's just that it's like there's a little worm in his brain telling him what to do. It's it's interesting the way that it's like the biological imperative of most zombie movies where they're like brainless now versus these ones where it's like they are talking, they are reasoning, they can hold a conversation with you still. It's just that they also have this drive. It's kind of like the hive and pluribus again, where it's like they have the biological imperative.
yeah,
Um, but they're still appeared to be, other than all of the green growth stuff in this movie, other than that, they still appear to be human-ish.
yeah, I'm trying to see if they are alive, like if the ants are still alive when they're being controlled with like the actual
Mhm.
fungus, so I'll keep looking into that.
I think so, yes, but it is kind of an interesting conversation of like mind control and like how much control versus if you don't have any reason to believe that like something has taken over your brain, basically. You just go, that's my brain telling me what to do the same way my brain's always telling me what to do. Um,
Oh
but I
yeah,
thought
they
that that
are
was
alive.
a really interesting way to do it. And I thought the device with the bomb where they're like, the temporal blah 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 is on the fritz. And so it's like they're able to build that tension of the ticking time bomb, but also you can't rely on that clock. And it's like right as it's about to get down to zero, as they're still climbing out, it's like 11 minutes. And then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, back down to 2 minutes. It's like, it's a really fun way to build yourself space and time in like the storytelling of a movie.
Yeah.
And also like there's a ticking clock. You can see the clock. You can see that time she is
Mhm.
wasting. But we can also buy ourselves more time when we can tell that our protagonists are basically still in the room and still need to get out.
I just think it's very smartly written. It has
Mm-hmm.
so many things that stress you out. And I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, and the person next to me, we were dancing together to Wouldn't It Be Nice or whatever the first song is, the Beach
When the
Boys
Beach
song.
Boys comes in, oh, so
The
much
Beach
good
Boys
music in
song.
this
We were dancing together.
movie.
So fun. We were
Sydney
having
and
a
I were
great
also
time.
dancing to
We were
Beach Boys.
bopping.
Yeah.
Our little feet were going together. And then he fell asleep for the whole rest of the movie after that. So I was on the edge of my seat. He was like,
Classic.
But what a lullaby.
it was a reclining
I love
chair.
the
It's a
Beach Boys.
dangerous game. It was after
Mm-hmm.
It
lunch.
is.
What are you supposed to do? Um, but I do think it was. There are so many, like everything that can go wrong does go wrong, sort of things. Like Liam Neeson, like fighting everyone like from the ground. I loved
Because
that
his back went out
because
just
his
like they
back
told us it
exploded
would.
just because
Which
he
is so
turned
funny.
too aggressively. Like, and I
Mm-hmm.
loved all the cast of characters of the biker gang. I just saw
Mm-hmm.
Pillion, so this felt really relevant. There
Another
couldn't
movie
be more
not
different.
playing in Alabama.
Yeah,
Sad.
seriously. Um, but I love that cast of characters, and I love the doctor guy. I love like all the different ways that they got like fucked over. The doctor guy with the glasses, or he wasn't a doctor. Why am I calling him a doctor? Was he a
He might
doctor?
be. There's someone in the cast who's called Dr. Friedman, but I don't know if that
Yeah,
is him.
I think that's him. Why would I
But I
make that up?
just
That's
saw
weird.
they say Cuba's name. I don't know how many other people's name they say, but the other girl, her name is Garbage, just like trash in Return of the Living Dead.
Yes. Oh, they
Mm.
knew what they were doing. That's so fun. Also, okay, I was trying to look this up. I think that the older lady, is
Vanessa
that
Redgraves.
Mary? Vanessa Redgrave. That isn't that Liam Neeson's mother-in-law?
Mm-hmm. That's like one of the 3 trivia pieces on IMDb for this movie is
Yeah.
that's Natasha Richardson's mom.
Yeah. What happened to her? She probably blew up. That whole sub
What?
story was also,
Oh, I thought you were talking
what?
about the character.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
you,
talking about
you
the
are talking about the
character.
character. Sorry.
No, I'm not talking about her in real life. I hope she's okay.
I wonder if she like ran out. Isn't there a moment? I don't remember, but isn't there a
She
moment
does
where someone does like
leave.
get out?
She does leave, but like,
Get
did Liam
out.
Neeson like pop the tires of her car or whatever because he like blew up everyone's car? I don't remember what vehicle she had when she got there.
That might be
So I don't
later that
know.
he shoots all of the. But I know
No,
Abigail is like her heat signature is good, so.
she's in there until the grandma, Mary. She's
Uh-huh.
in there and like until she shoots Mike in the head, you know? So she's in there for
Mm-hmm.
a while. So and then she goes out the side and we never see her again. So like hopefully she got away, but she could have blown up. She might not have driven away fast enough. Or I think he'd already.
But there's part of that subplot happens, I think, while they're like still retrieving the bomb from Trini Romero's son's house, where she just has it like in a
Yeah.
trunk, and it's like, don't
Hopefully
worry
she's
about the
alive.
grandchildren because they don't even know how to turn that bomb on, so it's actually fine.
That shit was
Um,
so funny because like just the little context there, like she's estranged from her son because her daughter-in-law hates her so much. I was like that one little piece of dialogue and I was like, "Oh God, what happened here? Don't tell me. I don't want to know about it." But that was really
no,
funny.
I
And then
thought
what?
I thought they did a really interesting way of like setting up these characters to seem like they have whole lives outside of what's going on here in many ways, even if we
Yeah.
just see them for a glimpse. Like with Mary in the beginning, when we see her going to her storage unit, it's a good introduction to Teacake and what kind of person he is and the way he interacts with customers. But then to
Yeah.
get the little vignette where she's like, I pour my gun out of my boot and I say, love you, happy anniversary, to the photo of my dead husband. Now I'm going to kill myself, but maybe a little nap first. Like, they do a really good
Which is
job with a
so
small amount
valid.
of time of being like, and here's just an interesting insight into what kind of person
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah, I don't know. I found this movie to be refreshing the way
Mm-hmm.
that it was written. I was like, you don't need to give me an episode on each character, you know what I mean? Like, but I care about these people and I have a good idea of what they're like in 5 seconds in a 1 hour 38-minute long movie. Was that right? 39. I was so close. 1 hour 39.
That's probably including credits, though.
I know, it's still the runtime though. I'm not going to subtract the credits time. I don't know. I thought it was just it was delightful, and I love that it ended happy too. You know, like I
Mm-hmm.
love that they get. Well, that's bullshit. That's one of those fucking bullshit endings that's not real. You know what I mean? Like, how
It's
would the
perfect
deer?
for a sequel.
Yeah, this is not going to get a sequel.
This is not going to get a sequel, but I was like, it would be so fun if it did get a sequel.
Yeah.
But also, then what do you do now that it's like breached potentially the whole world? Not that those deers are going to take over the world, but now, it's out and about now, and presumably a deer can go drink in a river that feeds into a tributary or blah, 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 whatever.
They're just fucked. But it feels
Mhm.
happy for a second there, okay? And the fucking bastard from the government gets fucked over. I loved how cool the CGI looked when they're like driving away from the bomb and the minivan is like bumping. And I love Trini's line where she's like, "Oh no, my son's car." I thought
The
that was really funny.
Pontiac, his baby.
His baby.
You stole
That was
that.
so funny. Oh no, I wasn't supposed to have that.
It's so, I don't know. I just had a good time. I had a really good time.
Yeah. I also just loved Mary shooting the ex-boyfriend, Mike.
Yeah.
I just thought that was fun for her. She was a crazy character for her to just come in and be like, my husband was a cop. This guy seems bad. I'm shooting him. Now I'm out of here. She throws the gun at him. That's crazy.
It's so funny. So funny. And I love that also, like, sorry, horrible, but like Mitch was such a bitch and he's like not infected and they just kill him.
Just can't risk it.
You can't risk it. He's got a bad vibe. He would run.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Or not Mitch. Griffin. Who's Mitch? I think he's a Mitch. He's giving Mitch vibes. You feel
He's
that?
giving Mitch vibes.
Mitch rhymes with bitch. I think there's something there.
I see it. I see the vision.
Thank you, Sydney. Man. Okay, any other discussion points that we
They
have?
should have kissed. It's crazy that I
Did
mean,
they
like,
not
it
kiss?
makes
They
no, they
did
don't
kiss.
kiss. They don't kiss.
I
It's
imagine that
like
they kiss.
they just are like sprinting out at the end. They're driving away as fast as we can, and then we cut to Liam Neeson in the hospital where he gets to meet Abigail slash Ishi, I think, or whatever her name might have been, in person, and they bond, which I also think is great because, it'd be easy to be like, he said that he's going off book. The military boss guy, Jabbernack or whatever his name is, was like, no, don't. You're not in charge anymore. And he's like, you're right. I'm not an employee of the military anymore, but nobody else is taking care of this. And so someone has to. And when they meet and she's like, Mama didn't raise no patsy. So I leaked the white paper that you wrote in 2007. We see that like on the news coverage at the end where it's like, so you guys knew that this was a threat and you've known for years that this was a threat and you didn't do anything. And now we had to blow up a storage center and we had to use a nuke.
A nuke?
Right?
They used white phosphorus in the beginning in Australia. Like, these are not instruments to be fucking around with, but I thought that was great. And then, we see them at the end watching her daughter play. And there's a moment where they're like they're leaning in. They have just bonded over the origin story of the name Teacake. They're having a moment, and then like the daughter runs and like jumps on him, and it's cute and it's sweet, and it's like it's so nice that he gets along with her daughter. They could, in theory, be a family unit. I could see him, like he says, he's very easy to talk into anything. So I could see him being like, yeah, whatever, I'll help. I'm part of this family now. I'll help raise this kid. Um,
He'd be a
but
great dad.
yeah, they don't actually kiss because they get distracted by the kid, and then we see the deers. So no kiss.
This is like, what was that?
Twisters.
Twisters. Why?
Yeah.
Why do they want to take
They're
nice
about to
things
kiss,
from us?
and then they get interrupted, and it's like, well, I think there's time for a quick little kiss.
I think we could still kiss.
I think
I think
there's
it's
still
okay.
time.
I think everybody should kiss always at all times.
I
Yeah.
agree. I couldn't agree more. I think
I
I'm thinking
missed
about that
it.
always.
I missed it less in this movie than I did in Twisters, where it was like really truly outrageous that they didn't kiss after building
Twisters
up the
was
tension between them
Agreed.
for so long. Whereas like this movie had so much other plot going on that wasn't about these two characters forming like a deep, meaningful bond. It's just like cute flirting, and so it feels less like you're being robbed of the romantic payoff.
Totally.
But it would have been really fun if they had kissed. You don't need it. It's not heartbreaking without it. It's not going to rage bait you the way that
Speak
Twisters
for
will.
yourself.
You didn't even notice.
I closed my eyes and
Speak
I
for
saw
yourself.
Well, now that you've brought it to my attention, I'm very upset. I really
But
thought
it would have
they
been nice. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know where I would have put it necessarily. Because it could have been at the end. They could have done something earlier, maybe. But I need the sequel so that they can kiss, you know?
right before they blow up, because everybody's gonna die.
But first, they put Sarah on a NASA capsule being sent to space to start a new laboratory.
Perfect.
I felt like
There
I
you
said
go.
capsule weird, so I had to loop it back around.
Okay, I think this is a perfect time to move on to our
Sagamontos?
woohoo. How could this movie be gayer? I think all those biker women are gay. And probably the bald guy is also gay. And definitely Dr. whatever with the glasses is gay.
Mhm.
Griffin, straight.
You know,
Also known
Griffin,
as Mitch,
yeah.
straight.
Yeah,
Mitch
Yeah, the
slash
boss.
Griffin, straight.
Yeah, and
Catholic
like she
straight.
said, he's already hitting on her and he's already being a dog. I liked the dialogue in the movie too, where they were talking about like, oh, you should report him and get him fired. And Joe Keery's character has like a vested interest in that because he sucks and is blackmailing him basically.
Mhm.
But she's like, realistically, like that's not how it's gonna work out. So I'm just gonna deal with it. And I thought that was like one moment, like we were talking about, like just the awareness of the current day and age, I thought
Mhm.
was a nice detail in the book in the very beginning, that the only part I got to. They also talk about how the Aboriginal community that we see in Kiwikura in the beginning, how they ended up like where they are there. So it's an interesting perspective that the writer's coming in with. So I would
Okay.
like to read the book. But yeah, Griffin is a dirtbag. However, somebody who is genderqueer in this movie, to me, is the cat. Because he says that it is
Of course.
Mr. Scrum, whatever. But I swear that he was saying Mrs. Scroggins. I'm looking at the name now in my notes. Mrs. Scroggins. I swear he said Mrs. many a time, but then he was talking about it and it was a boy. He was switching between Mr. and Mrs. So to me, that cat
Genderqueer.
is maybe
icon.
bi
Genderqueer.
genderqueer, just uses all pronouns. I don't know. But I was like, textually in the text, this is a Mr. and a Mrs. Cat.
I feel like also Joe Keery and Georgina Campbell could be bi for bi.
I think he's definitely bisexual. I just don't know if he knows that he's bisexual, but I also don't think
No.
he's ever thought about it much.
He's on a journey of
That man's
self-discovery.
been to
That's the
prison.
second
He
thing.
knows.
I think he's just like living his life. I don't think he would be like, I'm bisexual. I think he would just be like, who doesn't like kissing?
What am I supposed to do? Not kiss?
What am I supposed to do?
Yes.
I'm just hanging out, and now we're touching each other's bodies, but I'm having a good time, and I don't. There's nothing more to think about than that. Like, and like he said, he can get talked into a lot of things. So definitely, I think prison was not his first experience with that either. I think he's
I'm
just
glad we're on
chill.
the
He's
same
down.
page. He's down. Says down, bitch.
She, I think,
Okay.
would know that she's bisexual, and she would have like not studied queer theory per se. But her science interests, I bet you she could tell you all about the animals in the animal kingdom that are gay sometimes, like penguins.
True. She's got that shit on lock.
Like she's definitely had to have this argument with people in Kansas before growing up. And she's like, what do you mean it's wrong? It happens in nature all of the time. And I think her experience as a future vet can lend itself to that conversation and also a sequel where they need to track down this deer population.
Yeah.
So
I'd love
I'm
a
begging
sequel
for
for
a
this.
cold storage sequel.
Okay, any
Use real deer
other?
and not CGI in cold storage sequel.
Yeah, but the cat,
No, I don't
that
want a
was okay
real
with me
deer
that
to
it was
blow up.
CGI because that cow is crazy. Half of its head was missing. When it climbed the tower and then like impaled itself, that was
Yeah.
crazy.
The
I
CGI
It
didn't
loved
was
bother
it.
me
so
that
But that was
much.
crazy. Use a real cat, cowards. Train a cat to climb, and then you can just use VFX for the impalement, but you can train a cat to climb.
I'm worried. I'm worried about these opinions. The CGI didn't bother me. I don't know. It was like didn't look perfect, but I was like,
Yeah.
what I did my expectations were on the floor for this
It was
indie.
the same kind of thing with Send Help to Me, where I was like, I wasn't expecting them to have like a serious aesthetic
Yeah,
that is like
because
so
it's a silly movie,
realistic.
so
Hmm
I thought the deer looked pretty good. He looked cute. I liked him, and then he blew up.
No,
Okay, any other gay thoughts?
so many more gay thoughts.
Matthew Lillard, shave his head. He's the bald guy. He's the hot leather daddy bald guy. Just saying, it's right
He'd
there.
be great as one of the punks.
He'd be great as one of
Mhm.
the punks. We've seen him do it. And he would be great as Liam Neeson. Get
Hmm
the star out of there. Get him out. He's controversial. Not controversial. Matthew Lillard.
I
Easy.
don't know that I would want him to play an asshole who works for the military who's only an obstacle to be overcome in this movie, but I also don't think, no offense to that actor, wasn't that performance didn't stand out necessarily as memorable. So you could slot him in there if you like everybody else in their roles. But I think if you can just add him to the punk squad, just add an extra guy.
Add an extra guy. Yeah. I would love that. He'd fit right in. A younger him would be perfect for the boyfriend, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
He's great at playing piece of shit also. And he looks great sweaty. So
I think he would love to have like the boils and stuff that the
I
boyfriend
would
has as he's ambling around the facility.
imagine him going, I want to throw up in your mouth. And then he goes, and he sticks his tongue out because that's his thing.
He'd be
Right
good as
there.
Joe Keery's character too, but obviously
You
that's
can
my poor
pry Joe
Keery.
Keery from my cold dead hands. What was that weird thing we said the other week where we said that wrong? You can use my dead hands to pry. Okay, those are good placements. Now it's time for the dumb bitch. And I feel like we've got two options here, and they're of different magnitude.
The U.S. government.
The U.S.
Yeah,
government, that man as an
that guy
actor.
Jabbernack
Yeah.
specifically.
And then also Mitch/Griffin.
Griffin.
Who's just a run of
Jerebeck,
the.
that's his name.
You've got the overall looming big bad and the immediate big bad,
Mm-hmm.
which I would have loved to see Joe Keery fight his boss a little bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
but
lover,
he's
not a
not a
fighter.
fighter.
Yeah,
I
he's a
know, but I
Exactly.
lover.
would have liked to have seen just like
Mm-hmm.
a little more
Deck him once.
hostility towards this man. And then I think that would have felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think they're the worst is the US government, but Griffin shockingly really close second
Mm-hmm.
place. Really close. Not really holding the keys to life and death of the entire universe in the same way, but making everybody's lives miserable, including our main man, Joe Keery. Okay, that brings us to our knives out of fives, and I'm curious to see how this is doing so far. Should be
Pretty
really
good.
well.
It doesn't have amazing numbers on IMDb, but it has a 6.4 out of 10. And then on Rotten Tomatoes, these numbers are actually shockingly similar to each other. It has 77% fresh from critics and 78% fresh from audiences. So they're like not blow you away numbers, but again, nobody can see this, so it's
Yeah.
very hard for it for it to get the
No one
recognition
has
that
ever
it
seen it before.
deserves.
Yeah. Just
But
us.
yeah, I mean, it's
Just take our
from
word
the
for it.
people who are seeing it, it
Yeah, yeah.
seems to be getting a positive reception.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. I like part of me wants to give this five knives because I loved it and I have nothing I would change about it.
Yeah.
So if that's how you do it, then that's how you do it. But like, do I think it's as good as like what did I give Five Knives? Silence of the Lambs, The Witch, like fucking
Begonia.
Begonia. No, that's not as
Yeah.
good as that, but I think that it's exactly what it set out to be and it excels as what it is. So I have a hard time scoring it because I mean, it's just not the type of movie that's gonna be. It's not Begonia. It's not even trying. It's not even trying to get close to that shit. You know. I
Doesn't
don't
want to
know.
be Begonia.
It doesn't want to be Begonia. I don't want it to be Begonia. I don't need to think about things on the level of Begonia every day. Sometimes you
Hmm.
get a break and you watch Cold Storage instead. So I don't know. What are you guys gonna give it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of on a similar page where it's like, do I really think it's a Five Knives out of Fives movie? Not necessarily,
Yeah.
but I think it is fun. I don't necessarily think there's anything I would change. I think it has some really interesting writing in it. It has it's like very entertaining and fun. Oh, I dock points for No Kiss.
Oh, okay.
That's where we
Thank
dock
you.
points.
Thank you.
Um, but there's just a lot of good little things. Like also when Abigail is on the phone with Liam Neeson and her boss is walking by and she is like very on top of it and smart and clever and
Sorry.
immediately he's like, "No, Darius, I'm not saying. I'm just saying I'm late." Where she's like implying that she's on a
That was
call
so
about maybe being
funny.
pregnant, so that he goes like,
Uh-huh.
"Ugh," and like curves the conversation. There's just so
Genius.
many little things like that where I was like, "This is a smart, funny." Interesting film. Is it going to blow you away? Absolutely not. But I'm
No.
liking that we're in a moment of fun horror.
Yeah.
That is not
There's
like
gonna be
trying
some
to
fucked
be.
shit this year too. So let us have fun before Hokum comes out.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna give it like a 4.75.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'll do the same thing. I already said everything I wanted to say. I loved it. I had a really good time. Have fun with us. Go see it somehow. Find a way.
Like this movie a lot. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Like it's very fun. I had like such a good time watching it with Chelsea. Like our whole theater was like laughing and like
Mm-hmm.
having like really fun. But like, am I gonna watch it again? I don't know, maybe.
Might show
Like,
somebody. If you're
and
talking
that's the
about
thing.
Return of
It
the Living the Dead, maybe you're like, oh, there's this other fun one.
Yeah, but like remember, I'm not like
Doesn't
big.
like zombies.
Not a big zombie
Yeah,
person,
like
yeah.
zombie doesn't like do it for me, but like Joe Keery is like incredibly charming. I think he has like really good chemistry with Georgina, and Georgina has really fun chemistry with Liam Neeson, like, and all
And
that
she's
kind
so
of stuff,
cute and beautiful.
right?
He's got
Like,
such a great
and so
face.
this movie is like not offensive. It's like super easy. This movie also, again, would make like really fun watching at like a preteen slumber
Mm-hmm.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And great
Right?
It's a
music.
summer party
Like,
movie.
right?
Ending on
Like,
Blue Oyster Cult, or I think it was a cover. We looked it up and that sat through the whole credits just in case there's
we sat
anything
through the
else.
whole
There's not.
credits.
But it's a cover of Don't Fear the Reaper, which is like what Joe Keery's character mentions earlier, where he's like, sure, if they're coming in, they're playing the music, their song is playing, Don't Fear the Reaper. Like, he says it and then they call, but I don't know. I just, great music in this movie. Blondie, Beach
Yeah.
Boys, Blue Oyster Cult, great.
Yeah, like this movie is so fun. Like, it could have done a little more, but it didn't have to, you know? Like,
Mhm.
I just
I
love
do
Liked that
it.
it
wish
was
it
as
got a
contained as it was.
wider, like,
Yeah,
Release.
not that
wider
more
release.
contained.
I
Yeah.
agree. More people
Bummer.
should see
Such
this
a
and just
bummer.
have fun.
Or
We
at
can't
least have it
like,
immediately online somewhere
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like it'll be online like
soon.
in
I'm
the
sure
next
soon.
2 weeks. I think it's still in some theaters right now.
Mhm.
But yeah,
At
it's a
10 a.m.
delight.
screening.
It's a delight. And I'm just glad that you know, I love the broad. Someone asked me this last night, like, oh, do you ever get like annoyed having to watch a horror movie every single week? Like, do you get tired of it? And I'm like, I don't, because the definition of what a horror movie is has broadened so much over the years that like it could mean fucking anything. It could mean anything. So
They're
like
so
it's not like
different.
yeah, like compare, this movie is a horror movie, what we're doing next week is also a horror movie, and they are completely different on every single level, but it's still under that same umbrella. So you can really, there's different strokes for different folks like in the genre, and I love to have fun. So, but we're
And
not gonna
also,
have
like,
fun
what's
anymore.
considered a horror movie and what isn't. Like, and we, we'll do other random things. Like,
Yeah,
it
we have a
was a
broad
little
definition.
tedious when we did Planet of the April, but unfortunately, that theming was just too slay. So
Rochelle has a great name, so how could anybody
I
resist?
loved Planet of
that's
the
what I was
April.
saying. But
It was a lot of ape movies, I understand.
it was a lot of ape movies, but like the theming was just too good to not do it.
It's our podcast. We can do whatever the fuck we want. Were those movies sci-fi movies?
Exactly.
Yes, but that's okay.
Who gives a shit? It's our this is our
Sci-fi
podcast,
horror.
and we're the dictators here.
Yeah, this is not a democracy.
A lot of horrifying
But
things happen in
anyway,
those movies.
like I was saying seconds ago, the definition is broad. So this was a horror movie, and guess what? Next week is a horror movie, and Sydney's going to tell you what it is. You're going to see right away how different these two are.
Next week, we are doing a movie that my grandparents, for whatever reason, had on VHS. So we're going all the way back to the 90s. I do not know why my grandparents had this movie on VHS. They did not like
They're
horror
hard
movies.
fucking core.
Grandmas love
I
this
guess-
one
maybe
crazy
they did.
movie.
Yeah, this is grandparent approved, and that is the classic movie Seven from 1995.
I've never seen
Which
it.
Chelsea's
Very
never
different.
seen.
Mhm.
Her virgin eyes, her innocence
I'm,
was
like,
My little
destroyed.
spoiled.
Her
Interested to
innocence
see
gone.
Chelsea's thought on this
Yeah, but I
movie,
said-
actually.
We've been doing a lot of horror comedies. Maybe we could do something real scary next. And Sydney was like,
And
I know.
Sydney was like 7 right away, and I was like, oh god. I've only seen it once. It was a really long time ago, but like there's a bunch of parts of it that have like entered the like zeitgeist of culture that people just bring up all the time. So things will start to make sense to you after you watch this movie. It's one of those where you're like, oh, that's why people say that. I mean, I
What's
think
in
I
the
don't know.
box? What's in
Yeah.
the box?
Don't spoil her.
That's not
so,
a spoiler.
So there's a box.
There's a box.
There's a
And
box.
don't say anything else about it. But anyway, this could be maybe not a fun one, but it'd be an interesting conversation.
I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Well, we always have fun. Even when faced with pure depravity, we have a good time. Anyway, why not say in a 5-star review to us, thank you so much for supporting indie films. And actually, I enjoy the challenge of you doing a movie that is impossible for me to view before I listen to your episode. I actually think that that's a fun challenge, and my mind is stimulated. 5 stars. I could say it again slower if you need to jot that down, but just
Yeah.
rewind a little bit. And anyway, you're welcome for giving you a challenge, and it's worth it. I promise. Also, you should follow us on social media. We're at spooky_Tuesday on pretty much everything except for Facebook and Tumblr, where we're at Spooky Tuesday Pod. Go to spookytuesdaypod.com and you can get into the nitty gritty of Spooky Tuesday. There's an A to Z list of every movie we've ever covered, beautiful blog posts with all of our references listed in an aesthetic way. You can see a preview of what we're doing next week in case you immediately forgot that we just said 7. And yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on there, so check it out. And also a lot of hot pictures of us, just saying. Anyway, we're also on Patreon, and our Patreon's really having a beautiful time right now. It's really gorgeous. Oh, yeah. And also, you should do it right fucking now. It might be, I think today, you would have to join today so you could vote for the quarterly vote. You get to choose you get to choose a movie. We have 7 options this time. And in March, we will have the listeners' voices be heard. They created the list. I think we added 1 suggestion. And so, yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to do movies that I have never seen before and, get in there. Democracy this one time. Once a quarter democracy. Every other time dictatorship. So, yeah, that's patreon.com/Spooky Tuesday. What is it? Is it Spooky_Tuesday? Oh, God.
I think it's underscore. Yeah.
It is. Patreon.com/Spooky_Tuesday. And we are on YouTube. And today, Sydney and I are looking gorgeous and like ourselves, but we have someone special here with us. Chelsea, say what happened
guys.
here.
It's me, Joe Keery, in the movie Cold Storage. I tried to wash all the pink out of my hair to leave the blonde, and I slept in a lot of little braids to try and get some curl.
That's how you did it.
Doesn't do that. Yep, I don't have a crimper. And I also don't have
looking at it really closely.
Whatever. So that was my best way to go about it. And I drew on my Howdy neck tattoo, which is one of my favorite details of his character in the movie. So, and I have orange in my outfit. So that's basically the same as him wearing an Orioles shirt. Or he's not wearing an Orioles shirt. I'm wearing an Orioles shirt. But you get it. He and I are one. So in many ways, he is wearing an Orioles shirt because of our connection. But
yeah, because you guys have that special magical connection.
Yeah, because we have that special connection.
You can feel that connection yourself if you watch this video episode on YouTube. Subscribe to us there. We would love to see you. We'd love to have you. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for having fun with us again today. Say goodbye to fun and for next week. But we'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks for listening.
Bye, Spookies.
Spooky Tuesday was created by Monica Height, Sydney Thompson, and Chelsea Duff, and edited by Sydney Thompson. Our gorgeously spooky tunes are all thanks to Tamara Simons, who you can follow on Instagram at Great18. That's GR818_. And our podcast art is by Ryan Brom, who you can follow on Instagram at Ryan Brom Art. That's RyanBrommArt. Learn more about Spooky Tuesday at spookytuesdaypod.com and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday.